There is a version of leadership most of us were shown early. It is polished, confident, certain. It speaks in finished sentences. It rarely hesitates. It appears unshaken. And because this version looks stable, many people try to copy it. They construct a persona: the decisive one, the calm one, the visionary, the tough one, the one who always knows. At first, it feels empowering. But slowly, something subtle happens. You stop leading from clarity. You start leading from image. Persona-based leadership is exhausting. You are not only guiding people, you are maintaining a character. You think about how you sound, how you appear, how you are being evaluated. You measure your tone. You adjust your posture. You rehearse certainty. And the more you do it, the more fragile it becomes. Because persona must be protected. If you hesitate, the image cracks. If you admit uncertainty, the image shakes. If you change direction, the image feels inconsistent. So you double down. Not because the situation requires it, because the identity requires it. Leadership without persona is different. It is not careless. It is not casual. It is not weak. It is grounded. You still make decisions. You still hold direction. You still set boundaries. But you are not performing the role. You are responding to what is needed. If clarity is present, you speak it. If uncertainty exists, you acknowledge it. If adjustment is required, you make it. No performance layer, just alignment. Most people confuse persona with authority. They think authority must be projected, but real authority is felt. It comes from internal stability, not theatrical confidence. When someone is leading from persona, you can feel the tension. It's slightly rigid, slightly rehearsed, slightly defensive. When someone leads from grounded presence, the energy is different. It's steady, flexible, calm under pressure. That steadiness invites trust. Trust does not come from image. It comes from consistency. There is something powerful about a leader who can say, "I don't know yet," without collapsing, or "That didn't work," without defensiveness, or "We're changing direction," without panic. Persona-based leadership avoids these moments because they threaten the character. Grounded leadership moves through them because identity is not at stake. That freedom strengthens systems. Let's bring this into something practical. Imagine you're leading a project. Things aren't going as planned. Persona-based leadership might react like this: over-explain, over-promise, reassure excessively, blame subtly, project forced optimism. All of it to maintain the image of control. Leadership without persona does something simpler. Assess, communicate, adjust. We're off target. Here's what we know. Here's what we're changing. No theatrics, no inflated tone, no emotional spillover. That calm clarity stabilizes teams. Because teams don't need performance, they need direction. Persona is often built out of fear. Fear of losing respect, fear of losing influence, fear of appearing weak. So you construct a version of yourself that feels safe. But safety built on image is fragile. If someone challenges you publicly, the mask tightens. If someone outperforms you, insecurity spikes. If someone questions your decision, defensiveness rises. Because you're not just protecting a decision, you're protecting identity. Leadership without persona removes that burden. You can be challenged without feeling erased. You can be wrong without shrinking. You can be questioned without escalating. That emotional regulation increases influence. There's also something relieving about not performing strength. You don't have to constantly appear decisive. You don't have to have an answer immediately. You don't have to maintain perfect composure. You can pause. You can think. You can consult. Strength becomes responsive, not rigid. Rigid leadership cracks under complexity. Responsive leadership adapts. Adaptability wins long-term. Leadership without persona also changes how you handle praise. When identity fuses with leadership, praise becomes addictive. You start making decisions to maintain approval. You avoid necessary friction. You soften boundaries to stay liked. Persona-based leadership often bends toward validation. Grounded leadership prioritizes direction over applause. You appreciate recognition, but you don't chase it, because your stability doesn't depend on it. That independence strengthens credibility. This also applies in family systems. Leadership in a household often becomes identity. I'm the responsible one. I'm the one holding this together. I'm the provider. I'm the fixer. When those roles harden into persona, pressure increases. You feel alone in responsibility. You resist delegating. You resent when others don't match your internal standard. Leadership without persona shifts that energy. You guide, you support, you direct when needed. But you're not building a myth about yourself. You are participating in a dynamic system. That shift reduces resentment because you are not carrying the narrative of being indispensable. Persona-based leadership often overcompensates. If insecurity arises, tone sharpens. If uncertainty appears, control increases. If momentum slows, urgency spikes. All of this drains energy, and it destabilizes those around you. Because reactive leadership creates reactive teams. Leadership without persona conserves energy. You don't need to posture. You don't need to assert constantly. You simply move the system forward. That steadiness is contagious. There is also humility here, not weakness. Humility recognizes that leadership is situational. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you support, sometimes you learn. Persona resists shifting roles because the character must remain consistent. Grounded leadership adapts. If someone else has better insight, you step back. If someone else needs space to grow, you allow it. You are not threatened by shared authority because authority is not your identity. It is a function of context. That flexibility strengthens relationships. This way of leading requires internal security, not inflated self-esteem, stable self-trust. You trust your capacity to respond, so you don't need to overproject certainty. You trust your ability to adjust, so you don't need to cling to original decisions. You trust your value independent of position, so you don't need to dominate. That internal stability allows external steadiness, and steadiness builds systems that last. Season 8 is about grounded power. Leadership without persona embodies that. It is strong but not theatrical, decisive but not rigid, calm but not detached. It speaks clearly. It listens carefully. It adjusts intelligently. It does not inflate. It does not shrink. It does not perform. It simply leads. Notice the next time you're in a leadership moment. Are you performing strength? Or are you responding from stability? Are you maintaining a character? Or moving the situation forward? That awareness alone softens persona. And when persona softens, energy returns. Because you are no longer carrying a role. You are simply acting in alignment. There is freedom here. You don't have to be the strong one all the time. You don't have to be the calm one every second. You don't have to be the visionary in every room. You can show up as yourself. Stable, clear, responsive. That authenticity builds deeper trust than performance ever will. Because people feel when leadership is real, and real is steady. You are allowed to lead without acting, allowed to direct without dominating, allowed to change course without shame, allowed to admit uncertainty without collapse. That kind of leadership is not loud, but it is durable, and durability sustains momentum. If this episode shifted how you think about leadership in your life, at work, at home, in your projects, stay with the season. Season 8 is about power without performance. If you want to go deeper, the full book series is linked below. And if you know someone exhausted from carrying a leadership persona, send this to them. Sometimes strength isn't louder. It's more honest. We continue in episode 9.